Hi guys, good morning. Today I'm going to show you how you can use pictures or drawings to study narratives, stories in the Bible. And this is such a powerful tool that you can use either for your personal studies and your personal devotion, or when you're actually in a sermon, you're in a Sunday service. That really helps you to understand what's happening in the story. And I use this method a lot to draw, and I find that it's really helpful for me, especially to visualize what's happening, where everybody is standing, and the conversations that was going on, the settings, the characters, and also the plot. So it really helps me to understand when I put it in a pictorial form. So I want to show you guys how I do that. So in front of you, you see this stories is based on Mark chapter 2, verse 13 to 17. So Mark chapter 2, verses 13 to 17. So the title of the sermon was Follow Jesus to Sinners. So I'm going to read the chapters to you, and then I'm going to break it down and show you how I come up with these pictures, so that you know the step by step how to do that. All right. So I'm going to read the passage to you. So it's Mark chapter 2, verses 13 to 17. And he went out again by the seashore, and all the people were coming to him, and he was teaching them. As he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting in the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. So the key word here is he saw Levi, and and he called him from his tax booth. So what I did was, I first of all I would put down the title at the top, whatever the sermon title is. So I would put down the sermon title at the top to remind myself. So this is Follow Jesus. So you can do cursive or anything that you like, but I find it is really helpful first of all to put the title at the top. And then so the title of the sermon was Follow Jesus to Sinners. Okay, still sinners. So I will just draw my title there. Okay, and then as I was looking at the passage, it talks about Jesus went again out by the seashore. So I just draw a little seashore here. You don't have to be perfect. It's only you looking at this. Okay, so it just help you, to visually knowing where the location is. And so I just draw a little boat because it's by the seashore. So to remind myself, it's a seashore at the seaside. Okay, and then it talks about all the people were coming to him, and he was teaching them. So when I draw, I also always quick refer back what the text talking about. I always make sure it's accurate, that is that I'm constantly referring to the text. So I draw some people. You can draw stickman or whatever, right? Draw different people. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just approximate, right? And then people were coming here. So I usually have a character of Jesus. My Jesus usually in a typical face like this. I have 2 eyes, 1 nose, and then a beard. And I usually give him a little halo at the top. So this is Jesus here. Okay, and then all these people were following him, listening to him, like this. Okay, so I just draw a lot of people, or usually a lot of people following him. So I have all these people here. And then he said, as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. So this is the Levi. So I'm gonna put a little text booth here. So I put text, right? Text. Okay, and then I draw Levi here. Okay, Levi is here. I just draw a man like this. Also some beer probably, and then he has his little text booth here with some money. He was just sitting here, and then I draw some people lining up to pay the taxes, right? Yeah, so like that. Okay, so I would do some people here just line up to pay taxes. Okay, so it's really free flow. Okay, it's really for you to understand, what's the situation, who are some of the major players in the scene. And then Jesus, and it says here, he said to him, so Jesus said to him, follow me. So basically, Jesus saw him and then just tell him, follow me. Okay, so I write down what Jesus said here, follow me, talking to Levi. And then here I saw a keyword here, Jesus sees. He saw him where he was. So I bolded the word see. So during the sermon, our pastor talks about how Jesus sees where we are spiritually. He always reaches out to us. He always see where we are spiritually, so that he can reach out to us, spiritually. So this is one thing that I find it is really helpful is to write down any keywords that you hear, and sometimes I would give them a color, if you have time during the sermon, and then I would color it. So Jesus sees him, and not only he saw Levi where he was, and then he also called him. Okay, so the text here, it says, Jesus said to him, follow me, and he got up and followed him. It's amazing. He just, got up and followed him. So right away, Levi, so I just put it here, that he got up. Yeah, he got up and followed Jesus. Isn't that amazing? Immediately, he followed Jesus. So not only he called him, not only he sees him, but he calls him. Okay. So call, also call. So I put all the keywords, with bolded words or colors, so that I can remember these key phrases. Okay. So during the sermon, it also talks about how Jesus sees us and calls us from where we were to call us to something bigger, and followed him. So as here we can see, so this is the scene is done here. So sometimes you can also if you're doing your own devotion, you can also look at the scene here and thinking which one of these characters most related to you. Are you the people who are observers standing on the side, like here this group of people sawing the scene? They might listen to Jesus for a long time, but I don't know how many of these people actually follow Jesus. Or you're like Levi, okay, even though you're very deep in your sin, in your situation, but Jesus sees where you are, and he reaches out to you, and he wants to call you to something more beautiful, to an abundant life, to a life that is more abundant, or more, a life that he wants you to live. So you can, as you draw this out, you can also meditate on this situation. Just kind of put yourself, if you're Levi, how would you feel? Right? If Jesus calls you in your situation where you were spiritually, it was a dark place, because we know tax collector, a lot of people don't like them. And how would you respond to Jesus? So at the bottom, if this is your own personal devotion, you can, draw your own reflection. So this is me all the time. Like I would just draw my face. I would just thank Jesus, right? I thank him because I also live a lifestyle that's not very pleasing to God, and I just thank you. Thank you for calling. I thank you for calling me into something so beautiful and a life that is pleasing to God now. And Jesus saw me where I was, and he reaches out to me to call me to be his daughter, to have a relationship with me. So you can write your own reflections at the bottom after you kind of finished writing. Keep referring back to the text. Make sure you draw the players there and the key phrase that they have talked about, some of the keywords that they talked about on the page, and some of the action. So you can also write note here. He immediately followed Jesus. He got up and follow. Got up and follow Jesus. So you can write any key notes, any notes that you need to remember in this particular scene. Okay, so this is one way that you can do that. Of course, in a sermon, they would talk a little bit more. You can write different notes on the side, like what I have here. So because in a sermon, they talk more in details, like, so I add the notes in between time, like in between different spaces. But I always, one thing is like, I would write down the key words that I hear from the sermon, and I bold it and make it colorful and beautiful, so that these are the words that I want to take away from the sermon. And I find that this really helpful for me, especially to help me to understand the situation, what people are talking, the setting, and for me it's a very powerful way that God use pictures to talk to me. And I often have a reflection myself talking to Jesus, just based on that particular story, what God is telling me. And I find it's really helpful. And this is something that you can also do with your children. If your children like to draw, just read the story together, ask them to draw where people are, who are some of the major players in this story, where are they, what are they doing, what are they, where's the situation, what are they talking about. And then after you draw the picture of your children together, you can ask them a question like, what did you learn about God in this situation? Or what did you learn from Jesus in this situation? Or what did you learn from a particular character? In this case, you might ask them, what did you learn from Levi? What did Levi do in this situation when Jesus calls him? And then you can ask your children even like, who are you in this picture here? Are you Levi? When Jesus called you, you immediately want to follow him? Or are you like those people over here? They're observing. They might be following Jesus for a long time, listening to his teaching. But how many of them actually are followers of Jesus? We don't know. Okay, so if you can do this together with your children as well. So this is just one quick example that I want to show you how you can draw a scene and then also meditate on the scene and let God, the picture, and meditate on the situation, the people, conversations, how God is speaking to you through the picture in front of you. I hope this is helpful to you, and I find this method is really helpful, especially for sermon note taking and also for your personal devotions, especially trying to understand what's going on in the story. All right, see you next time. Bye.